In 2014, Henry got the chance to work with Guy Ritchie.
It's just as much fun as it looks.
The actor was invited to audition for the role of the Russian field agent, Ilya Kuryakin, in the remake of The Man from U.N.C.L.E, the popular British TV show from the 60s. The director liked him, but when Ritchie saw Armie Hammer's audition, he chose him immediately.
Thank you.
Funny enough, 2 years earlier, the same thing had happened in reverse. Zack Snyder first had his eye on Armie for the role of Superman, until he saw Cavill. It seemed like it was the end, but 2 months later, Tom Cruise left the project and Guy Ritchie offered the part of Napoleon Solo to Henry, who immediately accepted.
I mean, it's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Though he had one condition: no nudity. The director accepted his terms and allowed him to explore his talent to its fullest potential.
Wow! Come on, groove along. I said, baby, I know you're on a roll. Sweet honey, let's take it real slow. You know we got what you need, baby, so take it groove along. I said we got what you need.
I'm okay, I think.
Honey, come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on that highway, ease up. Wow!
The competition between the lead role contenders off camera only added incredible chemistry to their joint scenes.
Did you deactivate alarm?
Model 7010 doesn't have an alarm.
Loving your work, cowboy.
For the whole acting ensemble, the main obstacle in character development was the accents. Henry was an Englishman playing an American.
He's trying to stop the car.
Armie was an American playing a Russian.
You can get back on your horse now, cowboy.
Alicia Vikander was a Swede playing a German.
I will finish this bottle. The only question is, are you gonna help me or not?
And Elizabeth Debicki was an Australian playing a typical Brit.
You don't look like you slept much last night, Mr. Devaney.
Napoleon Solo's costumes are worth special mention.
Okay, Mr. Important Suit. Who are you and what do you want?
Henry believed that he had been able to pull off the role only thanks to the amazing outfits.
So you're a thief.
I like to call myself a specialist in complicated acquisitions.
The suits were historically accurate, some from the highest quality fabrics by the best tailor in Britain, Timothy Everest, who creates looks for the James Bond and the Mission Impossible franchises.
You look important. Or at least your suit does.
The competition between Henry and Armie was not limited to their characters. The actors were constantly competing in their abilities and tried to do all their own stunts. Even for the sake of a tablecloth, Cavill took lessons from the popular illusionist Matt Ricardo.
Tess is a little heavy with the lipstick.
However, their love for danger almost led to a tragic incident. The boat chase scene ended in the saving of Kuryakin. The actors did the scene underwater. In order to stay on the floor, Armie would insert his foot into a special weight. When Henry grabbed Hammer, the actor was supposed to release his angle and swim up. But the first attempt ended in Cavill trying to pull both his partner and the heavy weight up to the surface. Even Superman couldn't handle the task, and he let Armie go. Thankfully, there were scuba divers at the ready, who immediately helped the actor get to the surface.
My hair.
Surprisingly, this elaborately designed world, exquisite editing, and witty script did not pay off at the box office. The film didn't even break even, and the actors' contracts for a sequel were canceled. But they didn't lose heart and continued to seek investors together with Guy Ritchie for the next installment in the Agents of U.N.C.L.E. saga.
Absolutely hated working with you, Pearl.
You're a terrible spy, cowboy.
Even before finishing work on the spy adventures of the cowboy and the Bolshevik, in San Diego at Comic-Con, they announced the continuation of the Superman story. Zack Snyder and screenwriter David Goyer renewed work on the next installment, which united two main DC comic heroes.
You don't understand. There's no time. I understand.
Batman vs. Superman became the link to creating a universe like Marvel's. By that time, Christopher Nolan had filmed the Dark Knight trilogy, and Christian Bale had refused to play Bruce Wayne again, despite a $40 million proposal. He was replaced by Ben Affleck, who had almost taken the director's seat 3 years earlier for Man of Steel.
Do you bleed? You will.
Cavill and Affleck made the gym their home and achieved incredible results. They both reached the peak of their physical shape. Ben reduced his body fat to 8%.
It's hard to add muscle to your body, especially at my age.
And Henry weighed over 200 pounds.
Yes, I love it. It's awesome.
The stars were joined by Jesse Eisenberg,
Bruce Wayne meets Clark Kent. I love it. I love bringing people together. How are we?
Thanks.
and Gal Gadot, who, like Cavill, became the first non-American actress to portray Wonder Woman. Filming went on for 7 months, but Henry wasn't the main character of the picture. He had only 42 lines and his screen time was much less than his set mates. Since besides Affleck and Gadot's characters, the film contained Aquaman played by Jason Momoa and Flash played by Ezra Miller. Interestingly, the promo tour included feedback from the audience. A big criticism was aimed at Superman and the blindness of the people around him who couldn't seem to recognize the biggest star on the planet just because Clark Kent had some glasses on. To prove the plausibility of the transformation, Henry did an experiment. Wearing a Superman shirt, he stood in Times Square under a poster of the film Batman vs. Superman.
Got stopped twice. Once by someone exiting the subway asking for directions to Central Station. And the other time was in a coffee shop where someone said, "Could you please stop taking photos?"
After finishing the work on the film, the actor waited a whole year before the theater release. Because of the overwhelming amount of computer graphics, Zack Snyder asked the studio to give him more time on post-production, at which point they delayed the release again so as to not compete with the first Avengers sequel. At the box office, the picture, which cost a little over $250 million to make, made more than $850 million. An incredible success sullied by critics and low ratings from viewers. And though Cavill and Affleck answered their critics by saying the film was created for fans, not for critics, the genuine reactions to what happened flooded the whole internet.
Well, the interesting thing is that...
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
That same year, Cavill worked with the Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. And no, it wasn't the long-awaited crossover of the Marvel and DC universes. It was a commercial for the Chinese phone company Huawei, where they competed only in their ability to take pretty photos.
It was great working with Henry. I've actually surprisingly never met him before. And he's so great. He's such a relaxed, laid-back guy.
Do you like our work? Let us know with your like and comment. Push that subscribe button and share with your friends. If you want to support the project financially, become our sponsor on Patreon or YouTube sponsorship. Thank you.